Welcome to our program, Taking Care of Business. It is part of our worldwide Network for Success program. Taking Care of Business will help you learn how successful managers and business owners manage their businesses, capitalize on opportunities, and overcome adversity. Our objective is to help you understand and apply their insights, then use your expertise in your own business or job so that you can become more successful. Taking Care of Business is sponsored by Consulting Task Force. CTF is a full-service consulting firm known for providing personalized end-to-end business building methods, as well as cost-saving tools and techniques focused on improving your business. CTF helps your business grow and prosper. Here's your host, Joe Camara.
Welcome. This is Joe Camara. I'm your host of your Network for Success. The name of the show is Taking Care of Business, and we're going to be talking with an interesting guest today, Zach Noweihed. He's the founder of ClientsPath. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about your business.
Oh, Joe, thank you for having me. I'm a computer engineer by trade, and I've worked with helping many small businesses as a consultant.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about ClientsPath, since ClientsPath is a neat name, I think. What does it mean, and what's the idea behind it?
Well, our product, like I said, it's ClientsPath, and ClientsPath is designed to help small businesses with little or no dedicated IT departments. Our specific job, if you want to call it, we work in data management, and what we provide is simple tools that help businesses increase growth, increase their sales, be able to track down information, etc. In that line of work. Most businesses are actually not aware of how much a little bit of data management or how much a little bit of data collection and being able to manipulate that data can help them get more sales, be able to deal with more customers, etc. Our product is powerful out of the box, or it can be customized to fit every business depending on their business model. And what makes us, one of the things that makes us unique is that we also are very, very involved with our customers. We're very hands-on. We will help our customers get started, be comfortable with the software. Of course, there's a 45-day trial involved, and during that process, we are very active in making sure our customers are comfortable and getting the most benefit out of the software.
Yeah, great. Well, we've said that the title of this program is Using ClientsPath to Improve Productivity and Sales.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you help a company improve productivity and sales.
What ClientsPath does is again, we go back to this data collection, customer information, being able to retain that and use that to see better market to the customer, be able to know what each customer is interested in, and having an easy way to query your database, or be able to even look at your customer history. A lot of the times in the manufacturing environment, which we cater to in a major way, what happens is you get a lot of repetition in this orders, or a lot of repetition in the same data coming again, and it helps that you were over, whether it's to quote a price or to know how long it took for this product to be manufactured that way or whatever. It helps to have collected that history, and ClientsPath makes it real easy to collect that data, retain it, and go back through it, be able to search for what you're looking for.
I think one of the things you talk about is minimizing redundancy. What can you say about that?
Minimizing redundancy. For a lot of those firms, we go back to manufacturing firms, you will find that they will be entering the same data in the system or in the filing cabinet, or making copies of the same thing over and over. And ClientsPath makes it easy such that it's only a couple clicks of the mouse, and you don't have to put those records in.
And so if you were to describe your business and your mission statement, what would that be?
We say simple data management accelerating your growth. And we focus first on the word simple. We want to create a product that's easy to use, that's easy to understand, that is kind of intuitive, as we say. And we go back to each business is used to running their business in a certain way. Probably a lot of businesses are still actually up to this day will have a computer but still do their record filing in a filing cabinet. We'll do everything in the paper world, not in the digital world. We try to migrate that, and that big advantage is once everything becomes digital, that little piece of paper that you're looking for that has that information, it takes 30 seconds instead of 30 minutes to find. It will increase growth in that way.
Well, since you capture a large amount of data, and knowing how I've used your system myself, if you just have a snippet of information, let's say a person's last name or part of the company name or whatever, you can search the database.
Of course, you
Easily.
can search, but any type of data that you need, it's not just their last name, their address. We can search even by just their interest in a program or their interest in a product or a specific service. We can put date reminders that we can search by date, so we can find out customers who ordered this within this range or who have something that expired at a certain point. It all really depends on the range of services that you provide and are trying to use our system for. I think one of the other things how we support growth is we free up a lot of time. I mean, it becomes easier for you in a small business environment. Once you hit 10 or 20 customers, you start hitting your limit about how much you can do per day for your customers in terms of communication, paperwork, etc. One of the goals of the system is to allow you to be able, within the same number of employees, within the same infrastructure, to support a greater customer base, if you will. So you're increasing revenue that way. You're saving a lot of time and effort in putting the data, collecting it, and finding it, which in turn comes out to be money. And we always say, you take that time, you invest it somewhere else, and you can capitalize on that return and make
Great.
it
Yep. Okay.
fold.
So tell us about the range of products. I know right at the moment you have two major variations of your product.
Well, we have two levels, if you may say, and our product is an online software. It's cloud-based. The range that we have a version, we call it the Lite, and we have the ClientsPath Pro. Lite version kind of focuses more on communication with customers, on collecting those custom information, and it's what is known in the industry as a CRM. It's standard CRM features. Stands for Clients Relation Management.
Sounds
or
good.
Customer Relation Management.
Yeah.
Once you get to the pro level, we go more into resource management and actual product development. So when the stages of the product in a manufacturing firm, of course, you're going to collect those specifications, and there's stages where each stage you have to do something to this product until you have the final product. And our pro software helps you manage that very easily, be able to hand off that data from one department to the other very easily, and track the process.
So tell us about the kinds of customers you have. I'm a customer, so my business is media and consulting, but that's not the major focus of your business at the moment anyway.
At the moment, you are right. We are focusing more on printing firms and manufacturing firms. We fit more within those because of the power of our Pro package. One of the advantages we have is the flexibility in our Pro package order management, so we can kind of customize the ordering screens and customize the data entry to fit what each firm needs as a manufacturing firm, and I think that's why we're powerful within that customer base. Printing is where we started. We started within the printing industry, but printing is also, from our point of view, just another type of manufacturing, so it fits very well that way.
I think we're going to do a more in-depth demo in another program.
Yes.
But if you were to focus us on a visual now, let's say we start with your homepage of the functionality of the database. What would we find there, and what do we do from that point?
Well, on the homepage, you will be able to see a snapshot of. First of all, you will log in, and then when you log in, depending on the user, so each business will have their multiple users. You get an individualized home screen. At the top of that home screen, it will have your personal task list for the day with a really very easy entry. So this is your to-do list. Under your to-do list, you will be able to see a snapshot of the customers you have in the system and which lists they belong to. Part of what we use this software for is so you can organize your contacts in groups, whether it's selling groups or whether it's you want to group your customers by state or by city or by location. There's multiple ways to group them. You can group them by if you buy lists online or have any sort of data feed that gives you lists of customers and you want to keep them segregated. That's how we do the lead management. Also, the home screen will have, in the Pro version, will have a snapshot of what your departments look like. So you'll be able to see there's 5 orders in my X department or A department. There's 6 orders that are shipping out today. All this will be on one screen. There's a couple other widgets that we customize and put. We'll show you orders due today, orders due tomorrow. Depending on what is important for your business, we can add more widgets and modules on the home screen so it can be reshaped.
So some people are familiar with the word dashboard. That's the dashboard.
That's the dashboard.
And from the dashboard, you can go to any of these functionalities you want to go to just by clicking.
You can click on the group and go straight to the group or load the actual contact page. And the easiest way to think of it is it's like a phone book. It works like a phone book, but it will have all the information on one screen. So once you've searched for whatever the customer you're looking for, you click on the name. That will open the customer record. Immediately, you're able to see all their information on the left side of the screen, all the company information. On the right side, you'll be able to see their contacts. And for those contacts, we can also collect any information that we want. Under that, you will see the history, as in a communication history. It tells you, in short, everything that's happened between you and the customer. It is organized by subject, and it will, as you update it, it will automatically restack the stuff or the communication history to make the most recent communications on top, or the ones that are relevant right now more on top. And under that, we go to the order history, which also is searchable. You can find all the information needed.
Yeah. So really, a phone book is really a misnomer. If you were to say it really is a picture of a customer, you can make it into a picture of a customer's activity, really, from the beginning of a relationship right up to the present time. So it's much more complex and valuable than just a phone book.
You are very much correct. Saying it's a phone book is oversimplifying it.
Right.
It works like a phone book does, and when we say that, it's in the simplicity of using a phone book, but no, it holds much more information than just the phone number and the address. Like you said, one screen, you'd be able to look at it all in one shot and see the entire history. You'd be able to dig details if the history is long. When you have 100+ orders under the customer record, you'd be able to search those orders by little details and be able to get dig for what you're looking for very, very quickly.
Great.
And that's the idea with it.
Okay, so let's step back a step and talk a little bit about how this all got started, because I think it's important for people to understand what the transition period was. I think it's an important idea.
I started as a consultant with a local printing firm here in Buffalo, and one of the main problems that they were having was they were still doing everything the old school way, based on a Rolodex and the filing cabinet and a paper trail that had to go without a hitch for everything to go correctly. Now one of the tasks that they hired me to do was that they had bought a software off the shelf and they were trying to get everything to become digital, so everything would be easy and they wouldn't have to rely on the paper trail so much. The problem with this was that the software that they got was not very flexible. It needed them to relearn, not just learn how to use the software, more like relearn and reestablish the process of how they did things, which for a firm that's been doing things for 30 or 35 years in one way is very, very tough. We needed to come up with something or find something that would take their process and mimic it step by step. So we're not changing, we're not really changing the way they do business, we're just digitizing it. And that's what I set out to do. And I looked for a while and couldn't find anything that fits perfectly the way I wanted, that is simple enough for them to pick up and learn. And hence why ClientsPath.
So they retained you to kind of redesign a system tailor-made to their particular needs.
They retained me in the first degree to train them to a system that they had, but again, that process was very frustrating and didn't work. And from that became the solution, either to find an alternative that is better, or we had to actually build one. And that's when I came up with the idea of ClientsPath.
So in essence, by working with them, they kind of financed the start of this process?
They did. Most of the process was actually self-financed. Of course, they financed a little bit, and I was able to scrounge up a little bit of support from family and friends and close people. It didn't cost us much to start because this was software, so a lot of the work got put in by myself and by my programmers, and we kind of advanced that to ourselves. At this stage, we're trying to raise more money to be able to push further in marketing and support and build the rest of the infrastructure.
So if someone likes your software and purchases your software, could they also be an investor in your software program?
Oh, absolutely. And we do offer what we call an investor program, and it will be sort of like what we just talked about, my first firm, which did invest a little bit in getting the software developed, and now that they have access to it for good. And we do offer something like that for anybody who's interested in more than just becoming our customer, becoming a support for us.
Great. For those that don't know the word or term investor, it's a combination of what Zach just described verbally, a combination of someone who's an investor and a customer at the same time. The beauty of this is that usually an investor is willing to give a lot of feedback because they want to see their investment grow, and so it's an ideal arrangement if others want to think about this idea. It's one of our bottom line ideas that we try to help people learn about. What skills or knowledge or other factors do you think was most important in building your business?
Well, of course, my programming background, which enabled me to build this. But other than that, I think it was very important kind of to understand how the businesses work. As me working as a consultant, rubbing against different businesses, understanding that each boss kind of has their own process, has their own way of doing things, and there's no right or wrong way. It's more of a comfort zone and what works for each business. I think understanding that was an important element for us.
Great. Okay, so this might be a good point to talk about the functionality, and here's where I see another visual demo.
Yeah.
So the program is pretty robust. So can you tell us about the functionality? If we look at the screen, maybe we can get a list of the kinds of features and functions of things.
Well, and we go back to let's think of the system as as simple as possible. So we have mechanisms to enter data. It will depend on what it is that we're trying to capture and what form we can capture it in. And then we have mechanisms to search for data. And that's very much the basics of our system, and that's a good way to sum it up in 20 words or less. Although it's very tough to show how this would be used, because it's very specific to each business. But that's basically it. You have your contact screen, which will take you to a customer record that we've discussed already. It will have the entire history on one screen. You also can go to your calendar and be able to view your calendar, see where orders are due and for which customer. One of our screens is the order management, and this will give you a snapshot of your plant, where things are, which department holds what. It will also allow you to move things from one department to another, such as orders, put comments on what happened, etc. We have various reports, and we actually do customized reports based on what each customer needs, other than your basic, hey, give me all the orders for this customer for the year, or all orders for this year. We have the communication screen, which will show you the communications for that day or for a specific date range. It sort of is like an email. It's the same thing that is within each customer's record, but this will show it to you on a database-wide view, where you'll be able to see everything that happened for.
Right. So for someone who's interested in the details of this, we're going to have another show specifically devoted to like a demo, a live demo, and we'll be going through all of these various features to give somebody an idea how they might use it if they're interested, and that'll probably be coming up in another month or so.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about the marketing activities that you're using and what's most productive for your business.
Well, right now, one of our main marketing campaigns, if you will, we do have something that we call the executive briefing, and we hold one or two every month. We find a very nice and easy way to get customers introduced to the software. There's no commitment. It's more of a lecture. You'll come, you'll be able to, within 15 minutes, we will explain the basic idea of what ClientsPath is and what we try to accomplish with the software. It will be followed by a live demo, also another 10 or 15 minutes. And unfortunately, we can't even show like all the power of the system within that 10 or 15 minutes. But this is more of an introduction, so you can see if ClientsPath is something that could make a difference or would be helpful in your business. From there, after that, we have the Q&A, of course, and you can ask, people will start asking specific questions. The environment for those is a group environment where people get, so it's an open forum. People would be able to bounce ideas off each other and understand the system better by talking to other customers or candidates, if you will, for us, not just by talking to us. Sometimes we might have people who have testimonials and have used it before present as well. And at that point, we can make we can have a pretty clear idea whether this is a good fit for the customer or not, and we would go from there.
Well, when you say go from there, if it's a good fit, what are you hoping to come out of that?
Well, we would
personal demo or
a personal demo, or more of we start going into the assessment. If we find that the customer still has a lot of information or still have a lot of unanswered questions, we will do a personal demo with the customer. This way they can get more one-on-one time, more specific questions answered. Sometimes at that point we don't even need to go to another demo. It is obvious that we're a good fit, and what we would do is the assessment process that we've talked about, which we would start at that point. Now you understand how our software works or what it does. Allow us to understand how your business works, so we can set the software to help you succeed and help you grow.
So if they're a sophisticated user, they might say, okay, I'm ready to do a demo, or not a demo, free trial. And the free trial process would start with the assessment
Yes.
and the migration of some of their data into your system.
Some or even all of their data. We take a look at it and we see what we can import, and normally 99.9% of it gets imported, so they don't lose out on anything. It will start with that, with the assessment. The assessment process is, again, for us to understand how to set up our system to help you. Our system does work out of the box, but the more we program it to fit you, to mimic what you need, the more we understand what fields of data help you accomplish your goals. So that would be step 2. And after that assessment, we will leave you for a very brief period of time. We will leave the customer go, have the ClientsPath customized for them, and then starts the training process.
Okay, we only have a couple minutes left, so just quickly, because I want to get to the second question that's more important. What geographic markets do you serve? If you get a call from someone in Hong Kong, could you help them?
We can. At this point, our focus is very local because, again, we want to keep true to that personalized support. But it is not a barrier anymore. Like geographic boundaries are not a barrier. We can overcome using many different either Google Hangouts or TeamViewer or such programs that allow us to share the screen or control the customer screen, and we would be able to still communicate with our customers and train them remotely. It should not be a problem.
Great. So the last most important question to me is, if someone wants to trial your program and then purchase it, what are the 3 most important benefits they're going to get out of this for the minimum investment? So we call this the maxi-min principle, and what we're looking for is how to get the best value, not necessarily the cheapest, but the best value for their time and effort and money involvement.
Well, I would think the first step would be our non-commitment executive briefing. That is free, and that should answer a lot of questions and make them understand or give them ideas of how they can use our system and what our system can do. Following that, we do offer a 45-day free trial, which we will set the customer up, and again, we will be working closely with them. So we will be teaching them kind of how to use our system to make that return, and this is all a free period. This is a good way for the customer to get started, and they will hopefully see by the end of the 45 days a little bit of return, or at least be able to identify how their return will come and in which places. And we always say our number one thing is we save you time, so that time is worth X amount of money on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. That's the direct return.
Okay, so somebody wants to get started with a briefing, how do they get in touch with you and set up a time to have a briefing?
So the easiest way is to just call us. Our number is 707-7-DEMO-CP, which stands for 707-733-6627. Or another easy way is to go online, ClientsPath.com, on our website, and click request a demo, or check our calendar of events for the next coming executive briefing, and RSVP for one. It's
Great.
Very simple.
Great, sounds good. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you. I'm looking forward to our next program.
It's a pleasure having it.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
If you have a successful business and would like to participate in a future program, call 575-RESULT-6 any time of the day or night. Taking Care of Business is sponsored by Consulting Task Force. CTF is a full-service management consulting firm known for providing personalized end-to-end business building methods, as well as cost-saving tools and techniques focused on improving your business. CTF helps your business grow and prosper. If you missed some or all of our show, you may view it again by logging into our website. This free sign-in provides you with many benefits. Just visit www.networkforsuccess.com for more details. Thank you for joining us.